Welcome to the Kentucky Game Plan with your hosts, Adrian and Mac.
Welcome to the Kentucky Game Plan, everyone. I'm Adrian.
I'm Mac.
The Derby is ramping up.
Yes, it is. I just want to say I'm fresh from Wakanda. I just got back.
So you went and saw everything, huh?
Well, yes, it's beautiful, beautiful land, beautiful country. And me and King T'Challa had lunch and discussed a few things for the futures.
Sweet.
So had a pretty good week.
So things are on the up and up.
They are on the up and up. Derby's around the corner. That's why you heard that horse in the background.
Okay. Well, I see that you stapled it and all.
Yes. College basketball.
Before we get to college basketball.
Okay.
Which goes hand in hand with the Kentucky Derby. Obviously the Bourbon Trail.
Yes.
We got a very special guest. Brent Gettelfinger from Angel's Envy Bourbon is going to stop by. He's a tour guide there, and he's going to give us the inside tour, I guess.
I'm very excited about this. Kentucky is known for bourbon and horses, so...
There you go.
Yes, sir.
So, on with the locals, as they say.
The Louisville Cardinals versus Virginia Tech. Crazy game.
I watched the second half of this game.
What'd you think? How the Cardinals looking?
The Cardinals look really good. The second half kind of turned into a track meet.
Right.
But they settled down about the 7-minute mark, and they really started to clamp down.
Yeah, they took over
the
those three-pointers.
Yeah.
Quentin Snyder finished with 22 points and 7 threes.
Yes, he did.
Unbelievable.
He also had 6 rebounds and 6 assists, so he had probably the best game of the season.
Oh, yeah.
For himself.
Yes.
So.
Tied at halftime.
Yep.
At 34.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked pretty promising for Virginia Tech at first, but as you see, the Cardinals came back out strong second half and just pulled away from them.
U of L shot 43% from the field and 44% from three-point range.
Wow.
So
this was a much needed road win for Louisville.
Yeah,
they needed this.
And going into the next game, obviously we'll talk about that in a minute, but U of L's defense, like you said, man, they held Virginia Tech in the second half. Actually, I'm sorry, not the second half. The entire game, 28% from three-point range.
Wow. And
they also got 19 turnovers, which turned into 20 points.
And some of those 20 points were three-pointers as well.
Exactly.
So they were hitting that three ball, just racking those up.
They were. Like you said, Quentin Snyder, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Spalding, which was on fire the first half and kind of fizzled out the second half.
Think maybe the ankles bother him again?
Yeah, he took a hard foul in the second half. But, I mean, he'll bounce back. But he finished 12 points, 7 rebounds. Dang Adele almost had a triple-double.
Wow.
Almost.
Not surprised at that. We know how that guy can play.
10 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. And Sutton off the bench.
Wow.
Sutton.
I'm telling you, that off the bench squad is crazy.
Yeah, and you never know which one's going to show
produce.
up.
I know, they always produce.
Yeah, they always produce.
Kerry Blackshear, Virginia Tech had 14 points, 5 rebounds, but fouled out within a minute and 2 to play. And then Justin Robinson from Virginia Tech finished with 16 points. So, heck of a game there.
Yeah, like we were saying, Sutton, by the way, off the bench, that bench squad, 17 points, 11 rebounds.
Yeah.
So, you never know which guy's going to show up off the bench, but when they do,
they're on fire.
They're on fire.
It looks like this is going to give Louisville the boost and the momentum they need going into the ACC tournament in Brooklyn.
Yep.
Coming up here. So, we'll see what happens. They got for number 1 Virginia on Thursday, so that's going to be a test for them, definitely.
Yes.
And then Virginia Tech has Duke on Monday. So,
by the way,
test for them as well.
By the way, the last 5 meetings, U of L, Virginia, since this whole ACC thing, U of L is 0-5 against Virginia. So, hopefully, that'll turn around.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I mean, especially if that bench squad shows up, Snyder does his thing, and we always know Adele Spalding run those forward spots. So, yeah, hopefully they can come away with the win, upset number 1 Virginia, and get in that ACC tournament with, a big boost.
I'll tell you what, the Wildcats are looking like they've come together right in the nick of time.
Speaking of a big boost,
Yes.
Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox.
So
21 points.
that
I
is
mean,
true.
it looks like in this game everybody contributed. If you look at the result point wise, Vanderbilt had a huge game. He had 15 points, 11 rebounds. So
Yeah, I mean,
hang on.
What's
I got
that?
that backwards. Dyslexia kicked in. 11 points, 15 rebounds.
oh yes,
Which is still great.
Yeah. I mean, every time he steps on the floor, he comes to play. He hustles so hard,
Right.
and you can see it.
And Kentucky beat them on the glass as well, 36-31 in the rebound category. So they did control the glass, and that was huge for them. And you seen the first meeting between Mizzou and Kentucky.
Right.
Kentucky couldn't buy a shot, it seemed like.
No, they couldn't. They looked
And
horrible.
Mizzou was all over the glass, and they took advantage this time. Even though they were at home, but still, they took advantage and, foot on the pedal, straight forward, and didn't let up.
No, not at all.
Alexander finished with 14 points. He had, looks like 10 three-pointers.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
And Green and P.J. Washington both finished with 12 points each. It looks like Hami had 11 points, and he had 3 three-pointers as well.
Exactly.
So
Like
they got
you
the
said,
teams going even more.
It was kind of a home cooking situation from the three-point line, that's for sure.
Definitely.
UK, 27 defensive rebounds.
See? On the glass, man.
Yeah. I mean, if you own the paint, have 0 turnovers.
That turns right over into offense as
Right.
well.
Exactly.
So defense makes offense.
As we know, Calipari's teams are never great at the free throw line.
No.
They've never been. I don't care what squad he's coaching, UMass, Memphis, Kentucky, whatever. But UK in this game, 22 of 29 free throws.
Wow.
So I think it's definitely turned around at the right
Oh, yeah.
moment.
They got to stay consistent, keep that up if they want to continue to go forward and, go in the right direction, should I say.
Right.
The SEC tournament's coming up, and Kentucky is 9-7 in SEC play.
29 overall. Yeah.
So they finished yesterday 20-9. Mizzou is 18-11 now. And looks like, I don't know. I just hope they stay consistent.
Well, yeah, we hope they stay consistent. Beyond all this, NCAA stuff, I don't care about any of that right now because nothing's been proven, nothing's, all that stuff.
But we'll definitely talk about it. But
Right.
Knox was cleared to play.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
So
the
they
boost that
said-
they needed
They
was
said
that guy.
that whole thing with the agent buying him dinner was cleared.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely discuss that here in the future after we get more information on all the other teams
True.
and see what's going on here. So
Missouri's high guys. Robertson, 26 points, 8 rebounds, and Barnett, 11 points.
yeah,
They couldn't buy a shot.
not at all.
They looked lost.
They shot 10 of 31 from long range, so it's like 36%. So you seen how they were playing last game.
Well, they were just lighting it up
Right.
anywhere on the floor.
It's like the tables have turned, which is good.
Right.
Which is good because if you lose, being Kentucky, the powerhouse team they are, and you have all that talent, and you lose 4 straight games in a row, it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do?
4 straight games that you really shouldn't have
Right,
lost.
and we got to turn this around.
I mean, I'll give you one of those, but not 4 of those.
No, unacceptable, but they're headed in the right direction. So we'll see what happens here as well. Kentucky has Mississippi Wednesday and Mizzou Vandy on Tuesday.
Okay.
So it should be
Question for
pretty
you.
good games.
Question for you. U of L, UK.
Okay,
Records are pretty darn close.
pretty close.
Overall. You got, obviously, Calipari, the up-and-coming guy, Padgett. Do you think both of these teams will make the tournament? Because as of now, both of these teams, from what I understand, from what I've read, are both on the bubble.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I think both of them make the tournament.
Okay.
Now, I think Louisville may have a higher seed.
Okay.
Might have a higher seed than Kentucky, but that's still, in the air. We'll see what happens.
Hey, if you're in, you're in.
Exactly. Both teams have to, at least win out.
Yeah. Well,
They
it's win as
definitely
much
got-
as you possibly
Exactly.
can with these, ACC tournaments, SEC tournaments. But that being said, both on the bubble. I think they'll both get in. The records are pretty similar.
Right.
My whole thing is, are we going to see them play each other again?
I would like to see it.
You know,
I would.
with the whole bracket
I'd
situation.
love to see it. And, you know, each year when those brackets come out, they get close to playing each other.
Exactly.
So we might get that this year.
Bellermine, the train rolls.
The
Bellermine, the Knights, playing Indianapolis University. Bellermine 82, Indy 67. Bellermine is 25-2 overall.
Pretty impressive.
It was senior night for these guys. Man, Bellermine home cooking.
Wow.
Brent Bach finished with 26 points. Jarrett Coles 12 points, 5 assists, and Adam Eberhardt 14 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, almost a triple-double for that guy. Bellermine had 19 turnovers in this game, and were trailing at one point.
And still
came back.
Wow.
Shot 60% second half. Basically went on a 24-10 run.
They turned it around.
Yeah. Held Indy to 33% the second half.
But I wouldn't expect anything less from Bellermine. We know the coach.
Right. Well, yeah.
We know his team. We've seen what they can do. So
And he's won a title within that conference. Bellermine out-rebounded in this game. Bellermine out-rebounded Indianapolis, by 17.
not surprised at that. It's no shocker.
Like I said, senior night, 5 seniors were honored before the game. Bach and Coles, 2 guys I mentioned, which are pretty much 2 of their big 3, as they say, were seniors, and they were honored before the game with their jerseys and stuff framed and all that.
What can you say?
Yeah, exactly. What can you say?
Nothing but good stuff about the Bellermine Knights.
Indianapolis University's main guys that finished: Ajay Lawton, 18 points, 5 assists. Tate Hall, 11 points. Now it's the tournament for these guys, the GLVC Championship Tournament.
Okay. When's that start?
March 2nd through the 4th. It's going to be held in Edwardsville, Illinois. So nowhere near here.
Never heard of Edwardsville.
Edwardsville, Illinois.
Wow.
So March 2nd through the 4th. If you want to go see these guys.
I take it you're not going. Or
Take a little
you are
trip.
going?
No.
I think it'd be a good game.
Oh, I think it'd be a good tournament. I mean, hopefully these
Get
guys
out of the Ville for a while.
Hopefully these guys can finish with another title.
Yeah, they can do it.
Oh yeah,
They can do it.
25-2.
Exactly.
By the way, this 25-2 record, they beat everybody in their conference at least once this season. They were never swept.
Nice.
So,
what about WKU? Senior night for those guys as well.
senior night for those guys as well. Yeah, WKU and Old Dominion. WKU 88, Old Dominion 66. Western Kentucky's record right now 22-7. Justin Johnson 19 points, 11 rebounds. Darius Thompson 11 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Hollingsworth, we'll get into this guy in a second. Hollingsworth 20 points. He's their freshman phenom, as they say. This guy was actually recruited by UK and Calipari, but he kind of had to wait his turn, as they say, and he really wasn't willing to wait his turn.
I don't blame him.
So he went to Western Kentucky and has lit it up. As far as Old Dominion, Ahmad Carver, 15 points, 7 assists, and BJ Stith, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Old Dominion, not a horrible team. They'll probably make the tournament too, along with Western Kentucky. Like I said, Western Kentucky 22-7.
They'll definitely make the tournament.
Old Dominion 22-6. WKU plays Middle Tennessee State Thursday.
That should be another victory for them.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee State is also ranked 24th, by the way.
Oh wow!
So
It'll be a battle.
So it should be a battle.
Another piece of NCAA news: Shaq's son, Sharif O'Neal, has decommitted from the Arizona Wildcats.
There you go.
So not a shocker there.
A lot going on in Arizona.
Yes, a whole lot.
Cha-ching. Yeah. Well, you said it. Cha-ching.
Anything for NFL we got going on?
All the draft mocks and all that stuff up and down. Who's going to take who and who really knows until actually draft day.
Yeah.
So there you go with that. But a little news, Russell Wilson. I don't know who Russell Wilson is.
We do.
Starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. All know he's a two-sport guy. He's always been a two-sport guy.
So we got another new age Deion and Bo Jackson going on here?
Yeah, obviously NFL. He's a starting quarterback, Seattle Sonics. He also plays baseball. And, well,
He played baseball in college, right?
he played baseball in college at Wisconsin University. Played minor league ball for the Colorado Rockies in 2010-2011.
Wow.
But he is now with the Yankees. Joined the Yankees February 7th via trade from the Texas Rangers. He's joining the New York Yankees for spring training.
Nice.
So he's going to be in Tampa the week of March 3rd, spring training with these guys. He said he's super excited.
I bet he is. It's probably like a vacation for him in a sense.
It's exactly what he said. He's like, NFL is always going,
Right.
No matter what, especially if you're, in the starting role that he's in, franchise quarterback. He's like, yeah, it's a vacation from everything.
We might see this guy in the MLB.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Because you know what? He only has 2 years left on his
Right.
Seattle contract.
So he could become, I don't know if he'd become a Yankee. I mean, possibility, but
Yeah.
we could see this guy a professional baseball player, which would be awesome.
Yeah, he played shortstop. 2 years left on his NFL contract with the Seahawks. When that 2 years is up, he's only going to be 30 years old.
Right. Still young.
Still very young.
Right.
So-
Like, 4 or 5, years left in that.
Exactly. The NBA?
Kawhi Leonard, looks like he's opting out, not coming back this season.
Oh.
Even though he was cleared after that right quad injury.
Mm-hmm.
Popovich says he's doubtful he'll come back. He's surprised if he does. So, we don't know what's going on there. Could be a possible trade when he becomes a free agent. San Antonio's 35-24, and they're holding the third seed in the Western Conference. So, we'll see what happens. If he doesn't come back, they could possibly
Fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think they'll fall out of the playoffs, but they could
no,
possibly
but
fall.
yeah, they'll fall from that third seed, definitely. Jimmy Butler's out with a meniscus injury. Don't know when he's going to return. But cool thing about that guy, he did make it out to one of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Patients, torn meniscus and all,
Right.
on crutches, made time to go see
That's awesome.
that fan. So
That's what it's about right
stand-up
there.
guy.
With the things going on in town, get your money ready. Forecastle tickets on sale now. It is July 13th through the 15th.
Always a good time.
Tickets on sale, like I said, now. Go get them while you can.
A lot of them don't look too bad either.
No,
Sure.
it doesn't. Kevin Hart, KFC Yum Center, April 29th. Get your tickets at livenation.com. Studio Players presents Stage Kiss. It is a play. It runs March 8th through the 25th.
Is this Kiss like the band?
No.
Ben Simmons and
No, totally different. It runs March 8th through the 25th at the Carriage House in Lexington.
okay.
Victor Victoria, the musical, with Pandora Productions, runs March 15th through the 25th at the Henry Clay Building down in Louisville. Also, Looking for Lilith, the patron saint of losing sleep. It's at the Mex, which runs March 15th through the 24th. And in has come our special guest, Brent Gettelfinger of Angels Envy. Brent, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. From what we can see, Kentucky bourbon is hot right now. And what can you tell us about Kentucky bourbon in general and Angels Envy specifically?
Well, we are in the middle of a bourbon renaissance across the state of Kentucky. The Bourbon Trail is super hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
We certainly have people coming from all over the United States just to participate in the trail, but we have people coming from all over the world. In the past 9 months, I've had businessmen from Japan with translators come on the tour, South Africa, Australia, all over the world, and they are coming here just to do the Bourbon Trail. So
Wow.
we're really excited about that.
I had seen that on the news. All the different people coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty hot right now.
right. And Angels Envy is, we're told, I'm in no way biased, but we're told multiple times that we are their favorite on the tour.
Okay.
Not only is it an amazing spirit, but we are fully operational right in the middle of Louisville, Kentucky. We do everything under that roof except for the 4 to 6 year aging process that we do on the with the bourbon, and that takes place in the Rick House down in Shively. But we even do the finishing process. What sets Angels Envy apart from other bourbons is we actually first create a very fine Kentucky straight bourbon, and then we finish the bourbon in an imported port wine barrel from Portugal.
wow.
It's called second maturation, and we actually do that aging in a warehouse right there at the facility on Main Street across from the Riverbat Stadium. So when you take the tour, depending on the time of day that you're taking the tour, you may be able to see every aspect of creating the bourbon. Cooking the mash, fermenting the mash, distilling, bottling, putting the barrels on the trucks, watching the barrels being filled. So it's really a great tour.
That's pretty impressive to have all that under, one roof.
One roof, and
Not
under
scattered everywhere.
right, and under a historic roof, because the building was built in 1902. It was originally the American Elevator Company, and then Vermont America took it over. It sat abandoned for almost 3 decades and became in quite disrepair. And then they brought it back up to this beautiful facility that we have.
So a lot of history in that.
A lot of history, right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Angel's Envy product?
I would have to say by far the rye.
The rye?
Yeah, we produce Angel's Envy bourbon finished in port wine barrels. That's our flagship. That's our core. We then create a rye. It's only released twice a year, and we also use a second barrel for the rye. And that barrel is very special because it was originally used to age French cognac, and then XO Plantation rum, and then we take our rye and finish it in that barrel, doing second maturation. So if you've ever had rye whiskey, it tends to be very spicy and peppery. But if you've ever had XO Plantation rum, it's very sweet, caramel forward flavor. So that barrel's going to take that spicy, peppery, and kind of smooth it out, and you get a really nice combination of sweet and savory.
Oh, wow.
So it's
that sounds amazing.
Yeah. We produce a cask strength once a year, and basically it's the same process that we do on our regular bourbon. But that bourbon is proofed down to 86.6. The cask strength basically goes in the bottle uncut. So the 2017 came in at just under 125 proof. So very strong, but that second finished barrel port wine barrel is going to smooth that heat out really quickly, enhance the flavor, giving it additional flavors of like raisins and figs and plums, a Madeira finish. So it's a very popular product right now, very popular spirit.
I love the bottles, by the way, the shapes of the bottles.
Yeah, that's
very unique.
That's historic also, because during Prohibition, the only way you could purchase whiskey was with a prescription from your doctor for medicinal purposes. The bottles were smaller, but they had that iconic shape. So that's where the shape comes from. And the name Angel's Envy comes from the fact that the evaporation that occurs in the rickhouse is called the angel share. All that beautiful aroma drifts up to heaven, make the angels happy, and they smile down on us.
Nice.
This is part of my tour. You might be able to recognize this. But what remains in the barrel is what we get to enjoy, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the angels envy. Ta-da!
There you go. So, about the tours, which seems like it would be the best part so far, besides the bourbon itself, what else is great about the actual tour?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it is a fully operational distillery, so you're going to see every aspect. We talk about the history of the building, but the best of all of that has to be the tasting at the end. We have this beautiful tasting room, and we actually taste on what is called a tasting log. It's a 150-year-old oak tree that came down in an ice storm in 2013.
Oh, wow.
And we took that log and made it our tasting the tasting area.
Awesome.
So we do a 2-part tasting. We also pair it with chocolate from Art Eatables. It's a local chocolatier here in Louisville. We chose a very special chocolate called an orange shamir, and it pairs it very nicely with the Angel's Envy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you do that, because I've heard during a lot of the actual Bourbon Trail tastings, like Maker's Mark, Jim Beam, and all that they got so many different bourbons that they taste in a row during the tasting that they can't.
It all kind of runs together.
Yeah, they can't, understand which one was which, because it all tastes the same.
Right, and we also do a really special acclimation process where we will ease the client into the tasting. We start with a 3-part tasting process. The first sip that you take in your mouth, you do something called the Kentucky Chew, which basically means you're moving the bourbon all around the interior of your mouth, and you're coating your tongue. your teeth, the roof of your mouth, every surface on the interior of your mouth. I say that you're going to use it like, and then I can't say the word, because to say the word mouthwash in the presence of Angel's Envy is a crime.
That's a no-no.
But basically, that's what you're going to do with the first sip. We wait 10 or 15 seconds, take the second sip. On that sip, you notice that the alcohol content seems to drop back. We wait a little bit longer, take the third sip, and then the flavor becomes more enhanced. You get less of the alcohol burn and more of the flavor of the bourbon coming through. So it's a great process for introducing people who aren't used to drinking high proof spirits, easing them into it, and then talking a little bit about the individual flavors that they may experience. So it's a good little process to introduce people who aren't used to drinking bourbon.
Okay.
And it's a great way to get them into it.
So the tours, when do they actually run?
We run on the hour, and depending on the amount of tour guides that we have, we will also run on the half hour. It is a 1 hour tour, and the tasting and the pairing occurs at the end of the tour.
Very cool. Appreciate it.
Okay, we know that you're not just a tour guide, and you're an amazing talent, amazing acting talent, who has been sharing your gifts with the community for years. Can you talk about that and what upcoming projects you got coming in March?
Yeah, I'm currently in production of Victor Victoria. It's being produced by Pandora Productions, and we will be performing that show at the Henry Clay. We open March 15th. But it is a musical version of the film by Julie Andrews. And the film was basically a film with music, but this is a musical. And I play King Marshan, who is a Chicago gangster. But it's the story of a starving English soprano who can't seem to find work in Paris, but is paired up with a gentleman who comes up with the idea of having Victoria pose as a man, Victor, who is then posing as a drag queen, Victoria. So it's a man playing a woman playing a man. Wow. Is that right? No, a woman playing a man playing a woman. I'm in the show and it's confusing. But it's really a wonderful show. Great music. We've got a great production team and great cast. So I'm really excited about that.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah. King's Dilemma, and that's actually one of the songs I sing, is the fact that he's this macho gangster and falls in love very quickly watching Victoria perform. But then when Victoria makes the reveal that he is Victor, King is completely confused on exactly what gender has he fallen in love with. So there is the angst of the play, of the musical.
Well, that makes it very interesting, though.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, a woman playing a man playing a woman.
Yeah.
So, no, well, Brent, we appreciate it.
Sure.
I guess your tours are all week long, right? I mean, there's no
we have tours 7 days a week, although on Tuesdays we are closed to the public because that is our advocacy days, where we take care of the people in the industry, the bartenders, other distillery workers. But the tours we are open from 10 to 5. The tours, as I said, go out every hour, and then sometimes on the half hour also, just depending on the day and the week.
Okay.
Do keep in mind, though, on the weekends, especially now we're getting back to the busy season, we sell out sometimes weeks in advance. So if any of your listeners are interested in tours, they should go online to Angel's Envy to make the reservations well in advance, because it really is quite popular.
Okay. Yeah, well, there we go. Make the reservations.
That answers that.
Well, Brent, appreciate you coming by.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Not a
I've
problem.
learned a lot.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to drink more bourbon now.
Very good.
So,
very good.
The Derby. There you go.
Yeah. I just want to take time out to thank and remind all of our listeners to keep up with us through the media, social media websites. Instagram, you can follow us and see all of our cool pictures and stuff at _KY_ Game Plan. Facebook at the KY Game Plan. Same with our YouTube page, is at the KY.Game Plan. And then our Twitter handle is at the KY Game Plan. keep listening to us. We got some pretty exciting stuff coming up. We got some giveaways, some prizes. We got a lot of cool guests coming, so I want you all to stay tuned. I hope you all enjoyed today's guest. I know I did.
Yeah.
And I am Mac Black.
I'm Adrian Smith.
And thank you for tuning into the Kentucky Game Plan.